Heidi-ho neighbors, Radio Goji here.
I'm Soylent Greg.
And welcome to a special Squeeze the World video because I'm still at my parents' house and
welcome to Chillin' with Downwell.
I guess this is also going to be
our default behavior.
Like possibly also a podcast thing.
Yeah, this is kind of just a chilling.
We haven't done podcast in a long time.
Episode. We haven't prepared anything, so this will be very free form. It will be
It'll be desperate.
The spiritual cooking of video podcasts.
Spiritual cooking?
Is that what it was called? No, spirit cooking. That was the thing that they had, like, the wacky conspiracy theory that, like, the Clintons and, like, artist Maria Abramovich were, like, cooking children and eating them.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You're not irony poisoned and online enough for that sort of thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
Shotgun. So this is Downwell. If you've never played or seen Downwell and you have watched Squeeze the World Gaming, how dare you? Because this is like our approved best game.
It's like our default go-to, like if we don't have anything else to do, pretty much.
Patrick is playing right now, incidentally. I'll probably take over soonish.
Yeah.
We could have played Sonic Mania.
We could have played Sonic Mania.
Speaking of
which... We can always go back and play Sonic Mania.
Speaking of which, what are you playing this week, Patrick?
Final Fantasy VI.
Besides Downwell.
Final Fantasy VI Advance.
Oh, you're playing the Game Boy Advance version?
Yeah, I have that, I may have that side-loaded onto my 3DS.
Definitely better than... Oh, nice. Definitely better than the Vita version.
What, you mean the PS1 version?
Yeah, the same one that's on the Vita with the shitty load times and everything.
Yeah, it's the PS1 port, which is closer to the SNES version. If anything.
How are you liking Final Fantasy VI?
It's very good. It's no Chrono Trigger, but it's very good.
It's not Chrono Trigger, you guys. Yeah, that was absolutely the first thing I did when I learned I was able to sideload games on Super Nintendo Classic, was add Chrono Trigger. How was that not on there?
I'm fairly sure that's like what everyone did.
Like, unless you hate, like, do you hate your fans, Square Enix? Why did you not allow that to be on the...
Because they're like, look, we put Final Fantasy VI on there, what more do you want? The answer is Chrono Trigger.
Why don't we just crown the second prettiest girl at the prom queen? Fucking Square Enix.
There's so many... I mean, I know people who are delusioned and think that Final Fantasy VI is the best JRPG ever made, but I don't know if they've played Chrono Trigger or not. Like, my friend Sam...
I mean, that's a pretty normie opinion. Like, the really deluded people are the people who think, like, Bahamut Lagoon is the best RPG ever made.
That's like a strategy RPG, so that's probably why I never played that.
I just picked an obscure RPG. And of course there's like the really horny guys who think that like Senran Kagura where you like position them on a grid before they tear their clothes off. That's the best JRPG of all time. Are there even any of those games that are JRPG? I'm confusing that with Hyperdimension Neptunia because that's also the sort of pervy JRPG.
Oh yeah,
but that's the one where the characters make like deliberate video game reference jokes.
Of course they do, because that's what the horny neckbeards like.
It's
I suppose.
sad that there's so many horny neckbeard fan service JRPGs that I can't keep them square in my head.
Well, at least the neckbeards are the intended audience in America.
Exactly.
In Japan, it's just like normal dudes.
All right, here, hand it over. Let me give it a try.
Yep.
Style select, what am I going to pick? I like the gun one. That's a good one.
They all have guns.
Well, yes, but... God, I am rusty as fuck. Alright, here we go. So this week... Oh, I'm not going to be able to talk well while I'm doing this.
I don't even know what happened this week. I don't even care. E3's coming up. We're probably going to do an E3 video when that's over, but...
Sony won't be there. The State of Play sale can't even be called the E3 sale this year because Sony's not at E3.
Is that the entire reason why they're not doing E3 is because they have the State of Play now?
I think the reason they're doing it is because most of what's around the corner for them is PlayStation 5 related.
That's
but
true.
They're not ready to like formally announce the PlayStation 5 yet.
I just remember when Nintendo started doing directs, they had like E3 directs, but there was like that one time that they weren't at E3.
Yeah. Youth is probably the best one to get in the first one.
And what was the biggest announcement for that year? I think it was Star Fox Zero.
Oh boy!
And we all know how well that turned out.
Classic time. So I was going to talk about this week what I have been playing.
What was that?
I bought a bunch of games. I get paid. I buy a bunch of games. I only spent like $35 on games this month, mostly by being a horrible consumer who goes to like third-party key seller websites and buys things.
Especially, I don't know if you did you take the Don't Buy New Games challenge with me earlier this year or no?
Did I do that? Was I supposed to?
Did I do that?
Look, you know, it's every time I beat a game, I can buy like 5 games as long as I get them cheaply.
Okay.
I purchased Pathologic 2, which I kind of regret. I'm happy to support Ice Pick Lodge, but that game is really poorly optimized and runs much worse than it should on my computer. I also bought a extremely difficult platformer that was being talked about in that thread called Rain World. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No.
Very difficult. It's a Metroidvania. You're a little creature called a slug cat that's basically defenseless in like a post-apocalyptic Metroidvania world, and you have to find food and hibernate in cycles while exploring the world. It's really difficult. I'm gonna dig into it at some point, but the main game I bought, well, Pathologic 2 was the most expensive, but the main game I bought that I've been playing, because you got me back thinking about it with all that CRPG talk on the Facebook Messenger, is Torment: Tides of Numenera, which is the spiritual sequel to the classic CRPG Planescape Torment.
I thought you said you didn't want to play that game.
I gave it another shot, and I'm really liking it, actually. You kind of have to be in the right, like, frame of mind for it, because, you know, I've been in, like, 5 different combat scenarios in that game so far, and I've been able to talk my way out of all but one of them. But I like it. It falls down a little bit on the companion side. I feel like if you're making, like, the spiritual successor to a game where the very first companion is like a talking floating skull with the voice of Yakko from Animaniacs, that you should do a little bit better than just like 5 different like humans with like different cyborg parts. But the writing's good. I'm liking it. It feels almost like a Walking Dead or like a Life is Strange type like choice and consequence game, because the combat is so like perfunctory. I like just wandering around. I really like the setting because, like, my favorite sci-fi author of all time is Gene Wolfe, and it's very much this, like, lived-in, dying Earth setting. So, yeah, I'm really liking it. So that's what I'm playing this week. Oh, and I bought...
Didn't you also buy,
yes, the coin game.
The coin game?
Patrick messaged me on Facebook Messenger and told me, you have to buy this game. It's $8. And when Patrick tells me to buy a game and it's $8, I go, okay. So that's how I became a proud owner of the coin game.
Yeah,
which is a game that looks like it should fucking suck. I mean, its Steam page is garbage. It looks like some like high school kids like passion project.
It's one guy.
And
the sole developer.
That's the one I'm looking for. The ability to shoot them and make them turn into life. Yeah, it is a game where you are in a Chuck E. Cheese-esque... I'm dead. Here you go. You're in a Chuck E. Cheese-esque arcade, and it is your birthday. And you play facsimiles of various arcade games, such as, the game where you pull a crank and it turns a wheel and it stops on a
there's like skee ball and
or the thing where you
coin pushers.
They're all locks and you move the key up and try to put it through to win a prize. I like that a lot, actually, because I always want to try those, but they cost money and you never win anything. So that part's fun, but then the game gets weird when you run out of money and you go outside And you find out that the developer of this game has modeled, like, an entire town. And it's perpetually night, and you can ride a golf cart around the town and do all sorts of weird things. Like, the thing that makes this game weird is that if it was just like you expect from the presentation that it's just going to be like, here's like a slideshow, like a PowerPoint thing of different arcade games, and you select one and play it, and that's the whole game. There's all this shit in the game that was like, is completely, nobody needed this, but they've added it. Nobody needed for the island to have driverless buses that have a really arcade requirement for you to get on that go nowhere but just cycle around the island endlessly in this creepy night. Nobody needed there to be these bizarre walking paths in pitch darkness. Nobody needed there to be like a newspaper sale, like a newspaper delivery mini game where you force newspapers into people's mailboxes in the golf cart. It's a very strange game, and more things are being added to it. I went on the developer's YouTube channel. They're adding a survival mode of some sort. They're also adding a carnival to the game, which is coming. There's some speculation that this might be some sort of like horror thing in disguise, but if you look at the developer's other stuff that he's made, this is more ambitious. But it's all basically just like cheap games, like simulation games. Like one is like an RC car racing simulator. It's all that level of stuff. So I don't think that's what's happening here. I think
The reason I found out about it was because if you like to watch gaming stuff on YouTube, you've probably seen Brutal Moose, and he it showed up in his like Steam suggestions one day, and then he started live streaming it on his Twitch, and then he made a review about it saying how good it was.
He's kind of a proselytizer for this game, because I went back later and looked at the Steam reviews for it, and they're almost all universally positive, and almost all of them mention this Moose guy.
Yeah. In them. I mean, I've been watching him for years, but then the crane game thing that he did was like maybe within the past couple months.
Oh, my turn.
Your turn.
But yeah, it's a very oddly relaxing game, and it's an oddly lonely game, because you are the only human on this island. Everyone else looks like a cross between like an air fryer, a Roomba, and some sort of like sex toy that we'll see 25 years in the future. Oh no, I picked your style. Hang on, I'll select. Yes. I want gun modules. I usually use either this or the floaty one and try to get huge combos.
I just picked the somersaulting one because of the extra HP, because I suck at the game.
Oh shit. See, I'm not comfortable saying quite yet this game good, but it's certainly interesting, and it's one of those pieces of evidence for like the Steam store still being capable of giving you things that you don't expect, even when you think it's just handing you like lots of crap.
Yeah, I would have to play it first before I decide that. I do want to play it, but unfortunately it's Windows only, and
it does not strike me as the sort of game that would be difficult to run in Wine.
I don't think so, but
for what it is worth.
I still need to get on top of learning how to make all that shit work.
Well, Steam actually makes it much easier because it has Proton built into it now.
But
so, like one click, I can play The Witcher 3 on Linux. I can play Skyrim on Linux.
But the problem is, like, I don't know, exactly what games it allows. It depends on what works with it. Because I tried buying Quake on there, and it allowed me to purchase Quake, of course, but it wouldn't let me download it.
I'll next time we go over to your house, I'll work with it with you, because you can download everything.
Well, I've since gotten a refund on it, but still.
Oh well, I can show you how, because you have to install Proton.
Okay.
I'll help you set it up when you're on things. It works.
That sounds good.
You can test everything with it and see if it'll work. And of course, Steam has the 2-hour refund policy, so we can test, or we can like log into my Steam and download the coin game and see if it works. 1-2 cleared. All right, let's go with the engine.
I'm actually kind of looking forward to like the survival mode, because that's what all the stuff out in the island is for. Is basically leading up to that survival mode, because in the birthday mode you basically have a source of unlimited money.
Yes.
With the cash machine in the arcade.
With the stripper cash machine.
But that's not going to.
Oh no! I shuffled it away from the thing I wanted it to be. Damn you, Downwell! Damn you! Sorry, go ahead.
But that's not going to be like usable or accessible in survival mode, and that's what you're going to have to do out on the in the overworld, I guess you could say.
No.
Is getting those doing those odd jobs and whatnot to get money, because there's like a whole thing where you're going to have like a curfew.
Okay.
And you gotta make as many tickets or money.
I walk immediately out and lose health. Sorry.
As many like tickets and whatnot as possible before you have to go home. And then like you can keep going on if you make it home before curfew.
Huh. Interesting.
I think that's what I read it how it works.
I just find it heartwarming that this random game has all of these things that have been added to it now and is still being supported and is still popular, precisely because some streamer took an interest in it and ended up promoting the game.
And it's super relaxing. Just like have it on in the background, like, because I've been watching all the live streams featuring Coin Game, and like I've been really enjoying it. In that capacity. Like I said, I'd really like to play it, but
So yeah, speaking of video games and video game news, I was talking about CRPGs recently. You're going to be able to buy all of the CRPGs soon on the Switch. Your Baldur's Gates and your Planescape.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all going to be horrifically overpriced, I'm sure.
I don't know. I'd probably see them being like maybe 40. Because they're coming in 2-packs.
40? Yeah, no, 40 for a 2-pack, which is ridiculous.
That's not bad.
That's ridiculous.
For Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 in a 2-pack, $40 isn't bad.
You can get them both for $20 on Steam. The HD collection. Damn it!
Do they come with all the expansions and everything? Or those are the enhanced editions, aren't they?
Damn it, I died. Here you go. What was I going to say that I don't remember?
Because I know there's one 2-pack's going to have Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. One's going to have Icewind Dale and Planescape Torment. And then like the third
and
one is just going to be
purchasable individually.
Yeah, and then the other one is I think Neverwinter Nights 2.
I'm sure they'll work great. I wonder if they're going to be ports of the tablet versions, because I played a little bit of the tablet version of Baldur's Gate HD, and it's actually very nice for a tablet game.
I think that I think they would have to be, because the only way I could really see those working on the Switch is by using a touchscreen.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw it today, but
oh yeah, they did announce Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3 is coming from Larian, the makers of Divinity Original Sin and Divinity Original Sin 2, both of which are excellent CRPGs, modern CRPGs.
Yeah, I haven't played either of those.
They're really good, and I would love to do a LP of Divinity Original Sin on the PS4 one day, since it's fully co-opable. But, yep, Baldur's Gate, it's going to be using, the only thing that throws me a bit is it's going to be using 5th edition rules, apparently?
I have 5th edition books, so you can read those. I mean, I would probably prefer 3rd edition rules over 2nd edition that Baldur's Gate has.
Look, I'm just saying, if we're not gonna have THAC0, is it really a Baldur's Gate game? If a kobold doesn't get a critical hit and murder my entire party, is it really a Baldur's Gate game?
What the fuck kobolds were you fighting?
Is it really Baldur's Gate if I don't suffer arbitrary deaths? I'm just kidding. I do love those games.
Yeah, I do too. I mean,
one day I gotta go back and actually beat them. Hey, they're on the Switch. Also, that's the thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You finish first, because I want to talk about the Switch tax. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, this still has to do with the Switch, but I think I was going to mention earlier. I just did. Then the subject changed, but since the Vita is pretty much over at this point, guess where Hyperdimension Neptunia is going?
The Switch.
Yep.
Because Nintendo has suddenly become the, like, censorship-free platform.
Yeah.
What's that game that's being censored on, like, the PS4 but not the Switch?
It's like a Dead or Alive game.
Yeah, what the fuck? Nintendo is fucking awesome now. It's weird. Except for the Switch tax, which I fucking hate. Why? And I get that some of that is up to publisher greed as well. Why the fuck... You know, I want to give you money to play Resident Evil 4 yet again on the,
I'm surprised you haven't yet.
It's $30!
I didn't stop you all the other time.
$30! It's it's like a 10-plus-year-old game. You can't charge that fucking much for it. It's absurd.
Clearly you can.
Well, yes, clearly you can get away. It's not like they're going to go, you know. You didn't say the magic word, but...
I mean, when Twilight Princess HD came out on the Wii U, that was like $40. And at that point, the game was like 6 years old or something like that.
That reminds me, people are freaking out because of, what's his face? Bethesda said that the next Elder Scrolls game is planned to be played for 10 years. People flip out about that, like there's not going to be people still playing Skyrim in 2021 when that game turns 10. That's still one of the top 10 like most played games on Steam in 2019.
Yes, but
people fucking love Skyrim.
But the difference between Skyrim and whatever the fuck Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be is that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be charging you microtransactions out the wazoo the entire 10 years.
This is true.
Whereas Skyrim did not do that. They only had expansions.
Oh, did you hear that shit about the canvas bags? It's great. So the whole canvas bag, Yonggi had a video about this.
Probably back in November? Or
no, today.
Today?
Recently.
I don't know. I don't even watch him, so...
Apparently, because Bethesda said they were going to fix the whole bag situation with the canvas bags. They had people fill out the forms to get them, and they gave them 500 credits, everything. And it says, please allow 4 to 6 months for the bags to be created and shipped. Well, today is exactly 6 months from when they said that. And his video is like, so where's the fucking canvas bags, Bethesda? Like, nobody actually cares about the canvas bags, but like the fact that you can't even like deliver the fucking thing
so
6 months later.
So nobody's received them yet?
Nobody has received the actual fucking canvas bags.
Maybe they were hoping that that people would forget.
Oh, exactly. No, that's 100% what it is. It's hilarious.
Because, like, we watch Jim Sterling on this channel here.
We do. We love Jim.
And
we love Jimmy boy.
And the video where he was the latest video he did with the Todd Howard stuff. And like from what I saw of that interview with Todd Howard talking to whoever it was, they're still putting stock in Fallout 76 for some reason.
Yeah, they think every fucking video game company now thinks they're Activision to Destiny. They all think they're gonna. I died. They all think they're gonna get the Destiny bump, where the game sucks, but people stick with it for whatever reason, and they eventually. Change the style. They eventually fix some of the problems, and they get lots of free press from Kotaku saying, such and such is good again. But the problem is, how much has changed since Destiny came out. The market for live services games is so much more flooded than it used to be. So people were willing to give Destiny time to get good or whatever, because obviously Bungie has a lot of goodwill behind them, or they used to. Case. So people were willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. Nowadays, if a live service game comes out and it sucks, it ends up like Anthem. It's pretty much DOA.
Because there are way too many of these fucking things out now.
There are.
Always vying for hundreds of your dollars.
And they're competing with... They have to not just compete with other live services games, they have to compete with the free-to-play market now.
Yeah.
Millions of people they're playing Fortnite, and they're getting, into it because it's free, but then there's the battle pass and the cosmetics and the microtransactions and all that, and that's where they make all the money from it.
And what really gets me, I mean, even after all the time, I remember when I first heard about this, I nearly pissed myself laughing because I just thought that because when the whole Fallout 76 debacle, and then months later, instead of fixing the game that they have, I mean, yeah, they came out with the big old patch for it, and then the other big old patch that just reversed the patch.
Some of the things that the big old patch broke, yeah.
But then they come back and say that we're already looking at our roadmap for DLC and expansions and shit. I'm like, fix the game you have first. Last I checked, this game still wasn't favorable with the old consumer base, and chances are, if there aren't a lot of people playing right now, and your game is still fucking broken, they're not going to come back just because you put the shiny new expansion on it.
I mean, to play devil's advocate a bit, for the people that do play it, and sort of the most important thing with a live service is to constantly be churning out new content. I mean, that's what happened to Apex Legends. Apex Legends got some ridiculously gigantic share of people playing it when it first came out, but they didn't capitalize on that momentum in any way. They thought they could get away with adding content to the game every 2 to 3 months when Fortnite is doing it every fucking week. Also, they didn't think through the fact that fewer people want to buy tons of cosmetics for your game when they can't see them. Because the thing about Apex is it's a first-person game.
Yeah.
So the whole thing with Fortnite is when you buy a fucking unicorn hat for your character, you can see it the entire time you're playing.
Yeah.
You don't see it when you're playing Apex. Other people see that shit. That's why, some insane number of the cosmetics and everything. That's a big reason to get on one of my favorite topics. That's a big reason why everything sucks so much in Dead by Daylight. Is because everything is... That's why the root of why the game has such a big bias towards survivors, and in particularly the streamers who have lots of followers who stream the game.
Because when you're the killer, it's first person.
Because streamers are the people, not streamers, survivor players are the ones who are the vast majority of the whales. They're the ones who are buying all of the cosmetic shit. Whenever you can see it, whenever Behavior shits out a huge pack of themed cosmetics or whatever, there's always a shit ton of cosmetics for the survivors and a very small amount for the killers. Generally not even all the killers get some sort of cosmetic in a saleable microtransaction package. And that's sort of one of the roots of the problem, that they're chasing money. They actually recently tried to feel out the idea of adding a battle pass to Dead by Daylight, and it did not go over well. And of course, now they've got Ghostface, who is the worst killer ever. If you've been following Dead by Daylight at all, they did announce recently that the newest killer to be added to the game is Ghostface from Scream, and Ghostface is out on the public test build server right now, and he will be available for purchase on the regular server shortly, and he is terrible. He is the worst killer the game has ever released. He can't even use his own power if the survivors are looking at him.
I haven't seen Scream before, but doesn't he not do anything but menacingly call people?
That's the thing, he doesn't even call people. He takes a selfie when he mories somebody. That's it. Alright, I'm gonna go Boulder style this time around. Let's start with 6. But yeah, that's why they just sort of awkwardly slapped 2 different licensed killers' powers together to create them. Even if they fix the issue where he's really, really easy to counter, he doesn't feel like Ghostface at all. Meanwhile, you know, we just recently got Ash Williams from Evil Dead as a downloadable survivor, and not only is there tons of loving detail that went into adding him into the game, he came with one of the most powerful survivor perks that has ever been added to the game as part of his basic kit. Now, they did nerf that into the ground recently, but, you know, it's they definitely put a lot more effort into their survivors than they do their killers.
Well,
and it's because of money.
And in all honesty as well, I mean, everyone loves Evil Dead.
Knife and fork.
Who gives a shit about Scream?
You know, I don't know. It's not the most popular horror franchise.
I thought it was like a parody of horror movies.
Yeah, it's like a meta horror series. You've never seen Scream?
No, I never wanted to.
I mean, I can't really speak as to the quality of the sequels. I'm sure they're nowhere as good as I remember, but the original Scream is a fucking classic, man.
I don't know. I've seen lots of movies that I haven't.
Shit!
I've missed out on lots of movies that are considered fucking classics.
You know, there's always time. You could, you know, we have streaming services for a reason.
Yeah, but I'm not going to have like 50 million streaming services to watch every single thing that I want to watch.
Well, you're in luck because, two shitty things. Because soon enough, Disney will just own all of them.
Doesn't Disney already own Hulu?
Remember to subscribe to Disney Plus this fall, folks. $6.99 a month, coming right for Netflix's jugular. Note we are not actually sponsored by Disney Plus, Disney in any sense of the word. I'm just stating facts.
I don't think they'll ever sponsor us. They'll probably just eventually own us. I'm just gonna buy out,
just human beings. You're gonna get a letter in the mail. You are now property of the Disney Corporation.
Well, fuck. Oh, I guess I can't say that because that's not, you know, Disney friendly or whatever.
Actually, they're gonna cut. Actually, that's how they're gonna appeal to the young people now. They're gonna do swears and have sex in Star Wars movies now. Luke Skywalker is gonna swear at an alien woman and then do sex with her.
Do sex.
Your childhood, fat neckbeard, will be ruined when you watch your childhood hero swearing and doing sex and talking about feminism.
Oh, feminisms.
Yeah, did you hear they're gonna give the fucking Game of Thrones showrunners a Star Wars trilogy? After the fucking shit they pulled the last season of the show? That's not happening.
A Star Wars trilogy?
Yeah. They're just shitting Star Wars trilogies now. I'm dead. Man, I suck.
Oh, so there's going to be like an episode 10, 11, and 12 now?
I have no idea. I'm sure there's some sort of spin-off. You know, they're working. On the plus side with Star Wars, I have watched, because my child is in love with YouTube and in love with Disney, there are numerous people who have gone through the new, I don't know if you knew about this, you don't give a shit about theme parks at all, but Disney is adding a Star Wars themed land to both Disneyland and Disney World called Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And it has actually been open in Disneyland in California for about a week. And it opens in the fall in Disney World.
I'm surprised they haven't done that already because they're so eager to swing their big dick around and say, "Look at how much we own Star Wars."
Yeah. Oh, and they're definitely adding a Marvel land as well at some point. But yeah, no, I've watched some videos of like Tim Tracker and other like Disney blogger people going through Galaxy's Edge, and it is real fucking impressive. Like, the theming is on point. Like, it feels like you are walking around, like, other than the, like, billion people around you, it feels like you're walking around like a fucking spaceport from one of the new movies. So that's really cool. That will be cool, at least.
It'll be...
Yeah, they're already swinging their Marvel dick around. They actually, closed...
They don't swing their Marvel dick around as much as they do their Star Wars dick, though.
They closed... well, you've got so many dicks. Dicks are for my friends. they closed down the Tower of Terror in
oh, I did hear about that. Yeah.
In California, it's still running in Florida, and I don't know what I would do if they closed the Tower of Terror in Florida. It's
and then they make it like an
but,
Avengers thing.
No, it's a Guardians of the Galaxy ride. It's Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout in California. So it's basically now a Guardians of the Galaxy themed drop tower ride. I've obviously seen. I've not been on it. I've never been to Disneyland.
So
I've only been to Disney World.
Is it just the same thing as the Tower of Terror, except now it plays like 70s and 80s like chart-topping hits all the time?
I mean, it's all like themed around it now. You like help Rocket like pull off a heist, and there are characters and animatronics involved. But I mean, the main thrust of the ride, where it drops you repeatedly, I mean, that's still obviously the same. They didn't change that.
Didn't they change Space Mountain as well?
They did. For a limited time or whatever. It's the one in California to celebrate the Galaxy's Edge Open. It's called Hyperspace Mountain. And Space Mountain is the whole thing with Space Mountain is it's a roller coaster that's in the dark.
Oh, okay.
And it's in the dark. There's like you see like stars and shit. Like you're supposed to be like flying through space or whatever.
Yeah.
But they've added like all sorts of shit to the walls, like projection shit, like TIE fighters and X-wings and like space battles and shit.
Your turn.
So I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool. But it's all signifiers. It's all nostalgia.
Because that's the only thing that sells nowadays. It's just nostalgia. They don't.
Well, the Star Wars movies. I mean, Jesus.
Well, yeah, but that's still based off the Star Wars nostalgia.
No, I'm still talking about. No, I'm talking about like Solo. I'm talking about how like we live in a universe in which a Star Wars movie bombed. I mean, it didn't bomb in that it literally didn't make money, because that's firmly fucking impossible. But we live in a universe. Solo bombed about as hard as it's possible for a film with Star Wars in the title to bomb.
So you mean bomb as in didn't make enough money, or bomb as in bad?
Didn't make enough money. I mean, I don't know if it was bad. I haven't seen it. I've heard it was pretty okay.
I watched it and I enjoyed it. So I mean, I'm obviously not like the biggest guy to go to for movie opinions, I guess. Because there are a lot of movies that people like that I don't, and vice versa. But I liked Solo.
Yeah. I don't want to come off like one of those like fucking like alt-right grognards or whatever who are like, I hope they fucking go woke and get broke. But I'm honestly curious how the last Star Wars movie is going to do compared to the first two. Because I don't know, just anecdotally, like I don't feel a lot of hype from like my friend group about the last Star Wars movie. Like, not like there was for Force Awakens and Last Jedi. Maybe that's just, I mean, obviously anecdote is not, the singular of data. So that could be completely wrong, and this one could make more money than either of the other two. But, I
don't care. I'm just going to wait until it comes on. Well, no, I can't do that now.
It's going to be on Disney Plus.
It's going to be on Disney Plus. I think I'm not going to get
all the fucking Marvel stuff you're going to have to get on Disney Plus to watch.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess, I mean,
I'll probably get it. Why the fuck not? My kid will love it, and it's $6.99 a month. They'll jack up the price later once they've murdered Netflix and wiped their blade clean of its blood. But,
I mean, they'll still like eventually come up on like Comcast on demand, like for a long time
sure.
Release. But because I still haven't seen like I as far as the Marvel movies are concerned, like I've seen up to and including Infinity War, but I haven't seen anything since. And like everyone's saying, everyone was telling me for a while. I don't know if Endgame is still in theaters. But
I think it is. Is it the most is it the top selling movie in the world yet?
I think it has been.
I know, like I checked like last week, and it was like 110 million behind Avatar.
Didn't like Detective Pikachu come close? or
I don't
something.
think so.
I don't know. But like people kept saying, you gotta see Endgame, you gotta see Endgame. I'm like, I still have 2 other movies to see in between.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't. What 2 movies? Ant-Man and Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I watched Endgame. I hadn't seen either of those.
Because I heard like Ant-Man and the Wasp was like pretty important to the storyline, and while Captain Marvel, not to be
spoilery, but Ant-Man is important. I don't know how much specifically knowing the plot of Ant-Man and the Wasp would help.
I mean,
damn it, I died. How did I die so fucking fast?
Continuity is still a very big thing for me.
Here you go.
So like I remember before I saw Infinity War, like everyone, because I was holding out and seeing before I want to see Black Panther first. And I had people telling me, you don't need to see Black Panther in order to get what's going on with Infinity War. And it's like, if I see a character in a movie, and I know that there's like a whole bunch of movies, and the character did other stuff in a movie beforehand, I kind of want to see that first.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you to see all the movies.
Which is probably why, like, when I eventually do get to see Endgame, it's probably going to be like the last thing that I see from that. Because, I mean, other than maybe like, Doctor Strange movies, if they do more of those, because Doctor Strange was phenomenal, but...
I bet Captain Marvel will be the first Marvel movie that won't come to streaming, to like Netflix, like all the other ones have. That'll probably be the first one that's like only on Disney Plus.
Yeah, because I know that Ant-Man was on Netflix at least not too long ago, but
Infinity War's on there right now.
Yeah, and Infinity War's on there now, but like I canceled Netflix before Ant-Man was on there, so I'm SOL there.
I would have already watched. This is what irritates me. I would have watched Captain Marvel already if I could actually rent it, but it does that thing where, and this pisses me off, where it's like Captain Marvel now available on Prime Video, now available to rent on Prime Video, and I go to like rent it. I'm like, how much is it to rent? And you can't rent it. You can only buy it for $15. You can buy like the digital. It's like,
then don't fucking say you can rent it.
It's like, what the fuck? Like, why? And it's going to be rentable in like 2 weeks. But like, why would like you advertise it and then you want me to just? I'm not going to buy the thing. I'm not going to buy any fucking Marvel movie.
I'm only going to watch it
because they are ubiquitous. They're everywhere. And once we have Disney Plus, they will be on there for all fucking time to watch.
I think I bought Civil War off of because I got some of my movies off of PlayStation Network, and I think that I got Civil War and the first Ant-Man movie because I just really wanted to watch them like right then and there.
I was not impressed with the first Ant-Man film.
Yeah, it was okay. And I also did the same thing with Jurassic World because I really wanted to watch it then and there. I'm like, well, I can rent because I own Jurassic Park on Blu-ray, and because that was the day I watched all 4 of the movies in a row, and I'm like, well, I'm already dead.
So close. I just pulled up Box Office Mojo. All-time worldwide gross, number 1, Avatar, $2.788 billion. Avengers Endgame, $2.720 billion. So it's like $68 billion away. 68 million away. I wonder if it'll somehow hit it. I don't know how many theaters it's still in. Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, because I figured I had Jurassic Park on Blu-ray, and both Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 were available to rent off of PlayStation Network. But with Jurassic World, you could only buy it at the time. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just buy it. And then I watched all 4 movies in a row, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't have watched The Lost World again, but...
At least that one has Jeff Goldblum in it,
Oh, yeah,
not like Jurassic Park 3, which expects us to care about a bunch of other people.
I like Jurassic...
Who aren't the people that we love.
I like Jurassic Park 3 more than The Lost World because...
Who aren't our surrogate family.
I like that more than Jurassic Park 2 because at least Jurassic Park 3 was fun to watch. Jurassic Park 2... and basically has like the same problems that I have with the 5th movie.
Jeez.
Whereas that it's just like nothing but I mean, and I know that you know, like the original movie had shades of this too, but it's like nothing but just shoving in your face. Look how horrible people are to environment and animals and stuff, and that's like the entire movie. And then they're like, then there's like some sort of like fun action scene, and then like the rest of the movie sucks. And like, you know, Lost World did that, and Fallen Kingdom did that as well. Except the difference between Lost World and Fallen Kingdom is Fallen Kingdom didn't use their Jeff Goldblum properly.
Exactly. What the fuck? Did they only have him for like a day? What happened?
They had him for exactly the 5 minutes of footage
exactly.
that they were able to shoot.
He was on lunch breaks. And they offered
they had to get him in and out.
They offered him like $100,000 to just show up on his lunch break.
I mean, look.
Welcome to Jurassic World.
Check, please. I mean, look. Fucking Independence Day was able to use their Goldblum correctly with their sequel. And I mean, I know that you didn't like the Independence Day sequel.
No.
I did. But
I know why you did, because it was a Godzilla movie. It was a Godzilla movie that didn't have Godzilla in it. Like in tone, in like plot, it was
it was a fun movie.
A Godzilla film.
It was a fun movie.
You know, I'll admit that it was, but it was not, you know, Independence Day at all.
No, I mean,
honestly, if they had just added some giant monsters to it and made it look like this is Pacific Rim, I probably would have liked it more. It's Pacific Rim with Jeff Goldblum. I mean, what's not to like?
And who would have thought that a Godzilla movie like that could come out of the people who fucked up Godzilla like 20 years prior?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is a much better Godzilla film than the actual Godzilla film that they made.
If you decide to call that an actual Godzilla film, but...
Yeah, I know how people feel about that.
I mean, I thought it was an okay monster movie. Thinking back on it, I mean, it was still really, really dumb, and they didn't use their Jean Reno correctly. But
you gotta correctly apply the Jean Reno.
But I mean, it was okay.
Oh no! Oh no! You're not getting me. You're not getting me today, monsters.
But
fuck.
You know, obviously not a good Godzilla movie.
Damn it! I got all those gems. I didn't get to spend them. Oh well.
Whoops, I forgot to change style.
Yep. How many fucking pallets, unlockable pallets, are there in Downwell?
Enough.
I never know.
I don't know. I still haven't, I think it was like within the past year or so, I finally saw like the one Godzilla movie that I hadn't seen. And that was Son of Godzilla. I don't know how
Godzilla versus the Tax Collector.
I don't know how I never saw that movie until like then. And then I remembered, oh wait, there was like another Godzilla movie that Toho made that I haven't seen, and that was Shin Godzilla.
Oh hey, you got a
trophy.
Time never stops.
I don't know what that is for. I'll check later.
I think that's for doing an entire entire level without ever going into like a time stopping zone. Store.
I didn't see any.
I saw you missed one.
I probably was like tunnel vision and like didn't see it. Well, I missed that.
I mean, that's the only other Godzilla movie you haven't seen, unless you count, you know, Roland Emmerich's.
Well, I have seen that.
Absolute nadir. This Ain't Godzilla XXX. Oddly, that one also has Matthew Broderick in it.
But what was it? There were also 3 like anime Godzilla movies that were put out, at least over here, were put out on Netflix, and those were a thing.
The one thing I always remember about the Godzilla movie is that my parents didn't want to let me go see it because of that one joke in the trailer where
what? That's a lot of fish. Was that a joke in the trailer?
No, where he's like, the creature must the creature must reproduce asexually, and like the girl is like, well, where's the fun in that? And like my parents were like, oh, this movie has sex in it, and like it's funny to look back on because they were totally being prudes, but inadvertently they were also trying to protect me from an incredibly shitty movie. Your mom's calling.
Oh, is she?
Yep. We only have 5 minutes left on the video. Well, you just missed the call.
Oh,
so.
yeah. I mean, I called her earlier because
You
I
missed
couldn't
the
find. I'm running out of dog food and I couldn't find.
Oh, is that why it bit me?
No.
I got bit by Patrick's parents' dog, guys. That's the joke.
Yeah.
I'm okay. It didn't break the skin. It just sort of nibbled at my ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
It nibbled at my ass in July, apparently, from how I was saying that. I'm like, I don't know why I decided to do an Orson Welles impression while I was talking about it biting my ass.
Why not? The depths of your ignorance. What do you want? You could say that the bite on the ass was unrewarding.
Exactly. The bite on the ass is generally got to be the most painful of the dog bites. Also, also and so will bite no ass before it's done.
Let's say no ass will be bitten before it's time.
Oh no! Oh, I hate those crap fucking skulls. You go to shoot them and they just get mad.
Well, I'd get mad too if someone was shooting at me. I'd also be dead. Maybe I can actually buy. No.
I'm trying to think. If not Godzilla, what is the worst movie I've seen in a theater?
Star Wars Episode 1.
That was pretty bad. And I'm thinking though it's got to be some like irredeemable piece of shit children's movie I saw in like the mid-90s. Like one of those like C-tier children's movies.
I saw Ants in the theater.
Oh my god, Ants! That would be a good candidate.
Yeah, that's we saw the wrong Ant movie. A CGI animated, computer animated Ant movie.
There was ever a right Ant movie.
I've heard A Bug's Life was good.
While we're on the subject of theme parks, it inspired an absolutely traumatizing fucking ride in Animal Kingdom. Good lord. Too poor. I like that. Damn it. Well, none of us are going to get out of the fucking catacombs this video. That's hilarious.
Yeah, there's only a couple minutes left anyway.
We're both terrible. Yeah.
So let's, I guess we're going to go ahead and cut the video here.
This is our podcast for the week.
So until we, I guess when we return, more Ocarina of Time probably.
Yes,
because we need to get back to that. But until then, I've been Rado Goji.
And I'm Sorlin Greg.
We'll be here next time. Join us, won't you?